Welcome. This is an early stream. I had to get out here because I read an article this morning as I was awakening from my slumber. And this is crazy. As predicted, Brandon Trueblood in the house, driving his semi. Mr. Hemi, pooping while standing. Carl, he is back. Jason Reed from Colorado. My boy will be in Colorado this weekend visiting his brother. Who else we got? JT is in the house. It's a sad day when there's more justice in the streets than in the courts. You can read it. It's on Fox News right now. I'll read the headline. Maryland judge fatally deleted in driveway issued judgment in suspect's divorce case. Judge Andrew Wilkinson, 52, was shot in the driveway of his home by 49-year-old Pedro Argote. I don't know. We don't know much. He's on the loose right now. But basically, it has something to do with, Washington County court records in Maryland show that Wilkerson presided over a judgment hearing in Argote's divorce case from 2022 on Thursday. The next hearing was on October 31st. And I can tell you that the reason he most likely did that to the judge was because the outcome was absolutely one-sided. That's the only reason you'd be upset, because you did not get, a fairness. And so, unfortunately, one life, regardless of what he does, or the judge, again, we live in a court system that is unfortunately biased against men, biased against fathers, biased against ex-husbands, and this is what happens. We predicted that eventually somebody would snap. This guy, there's a picture of him. He looks pretty normal. He looks like some sort of engineer, businessman, but it is on foxnews.com, and it's under the first page. We don't really know what's going on. The judge was a judge, he's a year older than me, since 2020. So most likely was a great prosecutor and became a judge and so forth. So there you go. What are we seeing? We're seeing when it's lopsided like that. I don't know if this is going to send shockwaves out to court systems to really look at the fairness of dealing with both the husband and the ex-wife, or the ex-husband and the wife, kids, alienation, custody. But I can see why a lot of guys will just leave and delete themselves. They're just like, I can't handle it. I'm screwed. There's nothing for me to live. I'm not going to see my kids, and I'm going to leave this mortal coil, which obviously we're trying to prevent that, helping other men go through continue to live based on experiences that we've had. This is why we do our channels. JT, if I said good, I would be wrong. We don't like any sort of deletion, whether it's self-deletion. The only deletion that I would be in favor of would be the people that hurt children, hurt innocent victims, and things like that. The Dexter types. The guys that Dexter went after. Wolf King's back. What up? Coffee and scrambled eggs. It is 9 a.m., 9:05 a.m. Mountain Time. Good to see you, Wolf. Jason Reed, I'm surprised this type of thing has happened more often. And me too. Use the courts like she does. Eventually, this is literally front page news. Is this a warning? Is this alerting people? We don't know what the outcome of the judgment was, but I tell you what, I've been in court. 29 months worth of court. And unless you have a lot of money to pay a very good lawyer, you are subject to basically what the woman says and the bias by the judge. It's really that simple. Now, more states are beginning to realize that 50-50 custody is now becoming default. But considering alimony, my own brother is paying $4,000 a month for his two kids that are 18 and 20 to the first wife. His second wife now has just moved out. He bought a house. He's completely underwater by thousands a month. I don't know how he's going to do it. Ghost Pirates in the house. Good to see you. Master J, good morning to you. Mr. Hemi, some deletions are asked for. Well, if you watch Dexter, he's for sure the truth. Punishing time, it won't change, Rad, because the boomers love men being leached off and expanded, sadly. You're probably right, brother. You're probably right. But I tell you what, I'm sure there's other family court judges right now in Maryland that are really nervous. I can't believe it doesn't happen more often, Master J. We've always said that, I think I had that conversation. It was a Hammerhand or Terrence Pop, where it's like, I'm just surprised guys that lose everything are not sitting and waiting in the parking lot, because that's what happens when you leave court. You get in your car, you drive away. Well, when attorneys and bailiffs and judges leave court, they do the same thing. So unfortunately, until laws change, until men decide enough is enough, we're done being married, we're done doing these things, nothing's going to change most likely. Although I'd be very surprised if there's not a bulletin that's been sent out to family court justices to be very careful and vigilant when dealing with, their court cases and so forth, and the people that are being affected. Ghost Pirate says, judicial system needs serious HMT Punisher justice that only white can. I won't read the rest of that, but I would say that we definitely need some sort of balance in the system. Patriots 1, women love divorce because it brings drama. Good to see you, brother. 100%. Remember, drama is a form of attention. People ask me, why do they fight all the time with their husbands and their boyfriends? Because negative attention is the same as attention. It's currency. Manager Roy, no, this will not send any shockwave. The court system will become more stringent and more biased until it turns to blank of men. History speaks for itself. Potentially the state just changes nothing. Potentially it does something. Who knows? Thanks, Mr. Hammond. Yeah, we got to keep it down. Listen, again, we are reading a headline today on foxnews.com of a family court justice that has been deleted by a court case of one is of the what do we call it? The most likely the respondent in the case. The woman's typically the petitioner, is responding to basically most likely unfavorable conditions, maybe extensive amounts of alimony, alienation from his kids. Having to pay for her attorneys and her lifestyle and so forth, and it doesn't bode well. JT, she shouldn't get 50% like ever. I have a different view on that. I mean, obviously, being married and acquiring the wealth that we did during marriage, she does get half of it, and that's basically how it should be. I mean, if it was the other way around, it'd be weird. But yeah, the man works hard. He works for his retirement, but mine had 3 kids, took care of them. She was a great mother and so forth. But in the end, yeah, 50-50 custody during marriage should be it. 50-50 custody should be 50-50 distribution of assets should be there as well. Absolutely, Ghost. It's in Maryland. Yeah, I think you're right. It was Pop, if I think about it. Manager Royce says Gaza, Israel is a good example. Things are not looking great for the world. There's so many wars going on. It's not great. 2003 is where Ghost went through it. I can understand that. 20 years, brother. And guess what? 20 years ago, you don't want to revisit. The court system is the ultimate kryptonite to all men, says Europe. Well said, brother. Good to see you, Europe. Just joined. Wow, it's crazy, but at the same time, it doesn't surprise me. Michael's in the house. Good to see you. And I agree with that statement. I understand, Ghost. Just use discretion. Yeah, keep it down because a lot of these algorithms are looking for specific words. Again, we are basically a news outlet right now talking about a news article that is on foxnews.com. I will link it after the stream here. But appreciate that, Hemi. And we'll just keep it cool. It's usury at best, slavery at worst. Well said. T-Talk says, good to see you, brother. A good man can be punished only so far. And that's where it's headed. I mean, guys, we're lucky. We're lucky that we found these channels, that we found a way to share our experiences and get help from other guys that have been through it. We are lucky, but countless and thousands of men that were unable to contain their emotions, where they went and deleted themselves, and they were unable to find these channels, unable to, brotherhood with other guys that have been through this. And so this is why we do this. Carl says they'll just increase the penalties instead of fixing the laws. You're probably right, brother. You're probably right. I'm surprised more men don't end their ex. Jason Reed, Megatron, what up to you, brother? Yo, Ra, what's up, guys? Watch out. Cops are looking for dancing partners. Oh, Christian Henny, good to see you. We men have rights too. We do. Remember, when we react, we lose our power in a lot of ways. If we go out and delete ourselves, we lose our power. And I understand why guys do that. You know, when you lose everything, you lose it. When we go and take it out on somebody else, we lose our power. We have to figure out a way to contain it. We have to channel this. And these are the channels that we will look for. Or advice from others, or figuring out a way to work with ourselves. It's very extreme. It's the worst thing I've ever been through. Divorce. It is horrible. Wolf says 304 is now above us in the pyramid scheme of usury. Some biatches bang 300 men a year and makes the papers as normal. Yep. We're all equal. What's up, Rad? Good to see you. Harshit from India's in the house. Good to see you. Harshit Sander. Chaos for you. Good to see you. My cousin had PD as crib again, saying she alienated his kids from. You know, the alienation is so crazy. It's really sad for the kids. It really is. They can sense it all too. I can't even record or watch Donald Trump streaming. They are watching us. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a security, borders in play right now. Now, judges will get private security paid for the divorce judgment pool, the same pool that funds their. You know, you're probably right, Mr. Hemi. They're probably going to have their own security detail. We are lucky because we were able to take best decisions for ourselves. Well said. Well said, Manajroy. T-Talk says it right. You guys are my low pressure blow-off valve. Yeah, absolutely. We come here to learn, experience, blow off steam. Crazy times we are living in. Good to see you, Sotanar. Hope I said that right. Absolutely, Carl. The tiny hats and the anti-family courts don't think we are human, just cattle. Get back in the cage for harvesting. Laws will get worse in spite. We've got to stay out of the courts, and this is why we do it. We got to let guys know that the courts are stacked against you in every which way, financially, custodial issues. They can put you in behind iron bars and cement if they want to. Yeah, I like to do 2x streaming a lot, especially with when I used to listen to Greg Adams. I mean, you could do 3 times and it'd be funny because he talks so slow. Green skins in the house. Howdy, brothers. Howdy, Rad. Father deleted a judge, right? Hammer posted about a mother, then yeeted her 2 children. Yep. Is this the same dad? I don't know if it's the same dad, but it's crazy. Who knows? Maybe. Hey, I saw that this morning. Singletown Bachelor in the house. Good to see you, brother. Check out Singles channel. Rad, I was at a party and met some nice chicks, but very careful. Be very careful with who you meet and who you hang with. Jason Reeds lays it down to Chinatown. A man who has nothing to lose is a very dangerous person. When a man has lost everything, he loses it. She's the only one actually alienating them and using the PD to build a future case. Yep. That is the playbook, JT. You're absolutely right. Don't be used, men. F the subhuman, unwanted slave culture. Well said, Wolf. People like Ben Shapiro tell men to get married, but never tell men how ran through these women are. It's almost impossible to find a virgin, and the divorce rate skyrockets the more partners she has. Well said, Will. Good to see Will Murphy. I think more fathers should dish justice out to these family court judges. However, no father should lose their child to the slave system. Well, I don't know what's going to fall out from this, but again, deletion is not the key, but I can see why people are deleting themselves and deleting others based on the outcomes of court cases. We're trying to prevent that here. Good for you losing weight, brother. Connor says, Connor is back. Hey, Rad, I always thought that Hammerhand's words about morals, ethics, values, and principles and controlling your breath are a good path to follow. Absolutely, 100%. Do not be slave to the flesh. Anti-family courts literally laugh at constitutional rights. Counselor Coons in Maryland laughed when I said that what they do is unconditional. Ha, Ghost, well said, brother. Love to have seen their faces. Going monk mode is better than dating and simping. It's a lot safer. It's a lot safer, Megatron. Americans are more. Yeah, I would agree with that statement, Christian. E says, another great topic. Appreciate it. Well, we're here to to let guys know that there's a different way. And I understand why people lose it. I've been in that situation where you have so much steam that you just don't know what to do. T-Talk says, when you've been monk for a while, it gets easier. I'm sure it does. Megatron says, do not live on the plantation or you'll end up in family court. Cops, definitely, especially out here, like to get traffic tickets. Unconstitutional because you were abusive. What does the Federal Reserve and Zionism have in common? Both are not allowed to be challenged, investigated, or criticized. Well said. Wes is in the house. It's not worth sacrificing ourselves at the family court altar. I think the judges get a sick pleasure from destroying men. Yeah, and they are men, Wes, right? I always thought about that. El Padrino from Chicago. I think he's from Chicago. Good to see you, brother. It's been a while. Hope you are well. Cops are going undercover. We live in a world full of power and control. And the elites like to do that. They like to control. So how do you stay out of power and control over your life? You live under the radar, meaning you don't get married, you don't have kids, you don't get potentially in court systems, you don't, you stay out of the courts regardless of what. You don't beat your neighbor up, don't steal from others, don't drive a car intoxicated. Stay away from courts. Stay away where there's no power or control over you. If you're earning money, don't go out and earn $10 million. You become a target. Live minimalistically. Figure out a way to be happy with less. It's very doable. Oh, Chaos says they have the Rothschilds in common. There you go. Timmy Kramer, the Forever Bachelor, makes his appearance in the gym right now, lifting. Lady right next to me is loaded with tats and purple hair. Say it isn't so, Timmy. Timmy's got his earbuds. He's pumping them. He's doing lat pulls right now. Avoid cohabitation, 100% Mega. As others have said, I'm surprised this doesn't happen more often. It seems most judges view husbands as disposable and hold the wife up on a pedestal. Swick in the house. Well said. Yeah, I've got a buddy that still holds his ex-wife on a pedestal. She's almost 60 years old. What does she bring to the table? It's amazing, men's emotions. We can be literally gluttons for punishment. Men live in the fantasy. Wolf says, yeah, the Popo are pulling dudes over now for stop sign violations. You got pulled over. Did you get a ticket? Sigma is in the house. Good to see you, brother. So that's where we're at. Listen, today's news. A judge is deleted by a respondent that did not get a favorable outcome. Now his life's screwed. Now the kid's life's screwed. Because now the dad's going to either be, he's probably going to delete himself based on this, or he's going to, end up in a penitentiary, in a jail somewhere. With all the information available regarding divorce, many men still want to get married. This really boggles my mind, says Marvel. Well said, brother. Boggles me too. It's like they think the next one's going to be better. It's just this fantasy. It's the fantasy, as I said it before. It's a fantasy of the title of companionship, is the title of husband, is the title of having a wife that you can tell your friends. That's all it is. Putting her on a pedestal is like worshiping a worthless statue or a rabbit's foot, a purple rabbit's foot. I put a giant kielbasa in the sock at the gym. I asked biatches, what are you staring at? One time in high school, we put a 12-inch garden hose we cut off down our pants. It was funny. I agree, Rad. They will come after you if you make 25 million. Yeah. You guys, the best way to do it is fly under the radar. And sometimes I think, I don't even know why I do this channel, because I got my face out there, but I'm not hurting anyone, if anything, but still, I should probably fly under the radar too. Tats and green hair, they're everywhere, JT. To live on our own 2 feet takes courage. Well said, Wes. We are programmed. We need support from 3 or 4s, but even in a relationship, we are on our own. Ain't that the truth? SCE in the house. Good to see SCE, another master wrench. He masters for Hammer, and he masters for this little podunk channel of Rads. Appreciate it. The Popo will delete the man. How dare a man think there is any justice in this system? But men are disposable. Men are disposable. Men get the bad end of the stick. I wouldn't get married again, even in the Philippines where divorced. I would never get married or live with a woman. Hell no. I know myself enough now to realize that it is not worth it. I want peace, quiet, and freedom. Now, I like the Jonathan Noble way. If you're a monk, great. If you're short-term, great. But guys, no love, no falling in love chemicals, BS, no marriage, no cohabitation, no kids, and no taking care of a woman financially. Rad's out here hurting my feelings. Don't hurt my feelings. Great advice, Rad, under the radar, and you are hurting the system by depriving them of many simple. I think so, Ghost. Char's in the house. Good to see you. I buried most of my wealth deep in the BTC blockchain. Attaboy. Travis is back. My judge has till the November 4th until he legally has to have the decision. Nothing like waiting till the last days while families are suffering. Don't feel sorry for Mr. Judge. I was lucky. We had a woman judge that basically, my attorney was amazing, and he knew her. And I got what was fair. It cost a lot of time, money, and anxiety. She'll have to turn on you, baby, by nature sooner than you think she is programmed to. Of course, JT. I have that blonde girl from Twin Peaks on a Habitat skateboard on my wall, mounted a reminder, do not put them on a pedestal. Remember that skateboard deck that had the naked lady on it? I think it was like World Industries made it. Drinking that feminist Kool-Aid is also a curse. Yes, it is. And guys that are feminists are the worst. They're worse than real feminists. Getting married today is supposed to be saved by God, but it's all about money. Money and control. SC Rad, you're the tip of the spear and ongoing information war. What you're doing is way beyond important. Thank you. Appreciate that, SCE. Appreciate SCE has been around for a long time. Respect to him. Get fake married to cave women in Uzbekistan. Have like a cult harem you can fly out to. Well, the problem is there's no reason to get married anymore. Judges have zero business ruling over a man's family unless he wants to pay the bills. Anti-family court should be, it's funny. You go in and they don't know anything about your family, but they decide the output. It's really sad if you think about it. I got some sun coming in here. Let's see what we got here. No, that's not going to work. I'll keep it like that. How about that? Hell no, barely even enjoy the presence. Move off the grid like Singletown. Check out Singletown's channel. He's got, I think you did a video on something you built. My brain is a little squirrely this morning. I'm drinking my electrolytes. I'm on my 22nd hour right now of fasting. Correction, it was not a fair ruling, Rad, because you had to pay. True. And the lost wages. 4 years. I can move in. There you go. So, that's a reality. Yeah, it cost you. Even though I had a good attorney, the outcome was fair. 50-50 custody, 50-50 division. I paid her no alimony. I paid nothing to sustain her living. Child support was based on a calculator. And it is what it is. So, but guys do not get that, most likely. 95% of men do not get that. Just get a David Blank. There you go. There you go. Oh, look who's in the chat. Suzanne Fleming, an OG from years ago. Suzanne out in Florida. She definitely has said, watch out for these 304s, and she is a lady herself. Good to see you, Suzanne. Hope all is well. It's been a while. It took me a long time to realize I'm responsible for my own happiness. My buddy is married, and his wife steals cash from his wallet. Zero respect. I caught my wife in multiple lies. She was always good with money, but man, she would always bend the truth, say things that weren't right, throw me under the bus. But it is what it is. Marriage is a shit show. Marriage only leads to losing of self-respect for man. Well said, Manish Roy. Stack up them greens and then build it. and then be minimalistic, right? Single town manager. I'm doing a 24. This is my second 24-hour fast this week. Yeah, more so for the autophagy. God bless y'all, brothers. Catch you later, brother. Ghost had a wrench on my first channel, and I'm going to have to put you back on. My first channel got nuked because of speaking about the elections. That's why. Ghost, I'll have to put you back. Ghost and I think JLM. Anybody else that was wrenched before, let me know. Put your money where it's safe, folks. Don't trust the government. Well said. Saint, ooh, I got a shout out to Saint here. Saint's in the house. Good to see you, brother. Saint T is what I'm going to call you. 49% of all billionaires get divorced according to stats. There you go. It was too much truth. And it wasn't, it was very light. So I think I knew who took me down. It was a woman. Also took down Dax channel and a couple others. The more men go their own way, the greater likelihood bachelor tax will become a thing in the statute books. Well said, Connor. And there's already a bachelor tax. It's a single exemption. You know, it's what, 14,000 a marriage. A marriage exemption is 24,000. Eating less is good. Well said. Dave Green. We removed your ability to reproduce. How do you feel about that? Dave, where are you from? I lived under a criminal single B-dub young mom. I placed a crucifix above my door. She noticed it and began to question it as demonic. Interesting, Wolf. Maybe someone knows the answer in a divorce. If a wife cannot afford an attorney, does the husband have to pay? Yes, typically. Typically. They're not, family court is not a criminal court, so there's nothing assigned. If you're a criminal court, you get defense. If you have no money, they will appoint you one. You do not get appointed a lawyer in divorce court. There are pro bono attorneys, but they're horrible. I mean, there's typically some college kid that'll do it for free to get experience. It's always the lady, says Ghost. Attaboy. I'll make sure to wrench Ghost. There are cheap women by definition, but I doubt if there are any cheap men. I mean, that's an interesting comment. Interesting comment. So that's where we're at today, guys. The court system. We knew it. We predicted eventually something like this would happen. All right. Unfortunately, that judge lost his family. He had kids. So kids lost their father, even though he was a judge in family court that probably ruled against men 80% of the time. But his kids have lost, his grandkids have lost a grandfather. His wife has lost a husband. And it's unfortunate for all sides. And if we could get to a point where men should not be disposable, that men should have the same rights as women when it comes to custody, alimony, visitation, and so forth. It's as simple as that. Fix the system. But the system will not be fixed because it fuels the system financially. The court system is like Tinder. It's rigged, says Europe. Well said. Vigorous safeguards were enacted to ensure the integrity of the elections. Interesting comment, SCE. No masculinity, no honor, no heroes, no society. Dave Green, us gods are only proving you are only animals. Are you meaning the judges? I seriously doubt it, says SCE. Spiritual battle at the core, guys. I realized put God first. Yeah, I mean, God is in charge. What would God do? Treat others fairly, right? Anti-family courts are not courts. They are unconstitutional, illegal wealth extraction centers. They are an evil badger. Yeah, they're not even, I don't even think they're in the Constitution. There's a criminal and civil court part of the Constitution, or they call it standing. Too bad that ain't so, says T-Tax. Where in Maryland? Washington County is where, I don't know what the city is, but it said Washington County. Modern women are demons in the human body. It's all about them. What can he do for me? You will get used 100%, or they will be replaced. 98% of women are not recommended in Rad's world. Don't ever take shiz from poon. Don't get controlled by the puss. There's no such thing as a golden vagina, guys. None. Tell that. I won't read that. I don't want to be careful of the what's happening in the Middle East comments. I've heard a couple of streams are being taken down. We usually want a companion to increase comfort, but comfort limits growth. I have only grown from attacking my fear alone with no external validation. And that is what exactly we are pushing, Wes. The only validation you need is by yourself, the one that looks back at you in the mirror. And unfortunately, many men are scared to look in the mirror. They're scared to be alone. They're scared. Loneliness is just a way of man seeking external validation. That's it. He wants to be validated, or her. And we say, nobody can validate you. That is a goddamn fantasy. The only one that can validate you is yourself. That is it. If external validation was real, then all of those celebrities that self-deleted themselves would still be alive. Dave Green, we are the gods now. I like that. Hagerstown, never been. My mom grew up in Bethesda, though. Suzanne, all is well. Take care. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Modern women are strong and independent and don't need no man. I don't need no man. You don't pay $900 for my weed. But all the dating apps are full with modern women. The dating, guys, I've said this multiple times. If you're going to do a dating app, you play it like a damn slot machine. It's entertainment only. Read the profiles and you'll laugh. You actually shake your head. Thanks, Manoj Roy, for being here. Man, crazy peace leave is like an addiction. Be careful. I'm with a very level-headed lady now, but get bored. My ex was like a pro sexually. There you go. I think boredom is a factor in a lot of guys. JLM is in the house. Good to see you. I got to wrench JLM and Ghost. Lonely Les won't fix this since they own the court's decision. Hey, you says you're not scared to be alone after you've been through a few shitty. Hell no. Most men are alone in their marriages. Modern women don't love cats. They need them so they don't feel alone. What a shame. Absolutely. And by the way, thanks for being here. Hey, you. D-Man is back. Another one of my wrenches. Good to see you. There's my Rumble account. Hopefully my videos are transferring. They don't need a man, yet they need a man to pay their bills. Yeah, it all comes down to resources. I'm drinking my electrolytes. So I ended my fast at 11 o'clock. I started at 11 a.m. yesterday at 11 a.m. Twice a week. I'm doing two 24s and maybe an 18 and a 16. Megatron says, Lady Luck, or no luck to us. Well said, Mega. Wes says, Chris Cornell, Cobain, Chester Bennington, millions of adoring fans, but broken souls, same for Instagram. Yeah, if external validation was so important and it validated everybody, there would be no such thing as self-deletion with a lot of these. If you're lonely and an incel and you self-delete because no one's around you, I guess that makes sense. But in the end, external validation is what everybody seeks, but it's a complete fantasy. And once you realize that, you seek it from within. Good to see you, D-Man. Thanks for stopping in. Andrew Tate and his brother are clowns. I can't even imagine how much money is evil on them. Problem with him is he did not fly under the radar. The Three Stooges episodes Women Haters Club is hilarious. Love the Stooges before sleep and old Kung Fu films. Old Kung Fu? What about David Carradine? Remember him? Timmy Kramer, careful men. Phoenix Scottsdale is loaded with debt-ridden divorced women over 50 seeking their next prey. Absolutely, Timmy. Timmy knows. He's seen them and he's hung out with them. Invest in box wine and cat food companies. Invest in Petco. T-Talk says, my 8 years of monk and solitude have been quite therapeutic. When you really have to pull yourself up by the bootstraps, it's when you look in the mirror and you're honest with yourself and you have to accept what you've gone through and you have to realize that the only way out is by you. No one's going to pull you out. The courts ain't going to pull you out. Most likely your family's just going to just listen to you. But in the end, no one's going to pull you out. You got to pull your own self out. Yeah, my mom grew up in Bethesda and then went to college and met my dad out west. We must be careful. Joe wants peace with Russia. We're not a fan of Potato Joe here, guys. We all know that. Thanks, Char. SCE says, Have you noticed that they never say, I don't need no resources? Yeah, well said. I don't need no man. I can take care of myself. If a man can have 300 body count, I can have a 300 body count too. They're unsatiable. Well, here's the deal. What female nature is female nature. Female nature is nothing we can change. Female nature is a biological programming a program that has been running since the moment the first woman set foot on this earth. We basically, you just respect it. Hypergamy should be respected and should be actually liked, because once you understand hypergamy, you understand that you don't have to place the value within a woman anymore. And we talk about hypergamy being crazy, but it's an actual superpower if you really understand it. Having a set of really good friends is way better than being stuck with a chaotic broad. Well said, brother. Rad, I knew Obama was blank all the time. I think he married a guy named Michael. Just confirmed, yes, Judge Andrew Wilkinson deleted in Hagerstown, Maryland. Interesting. You called it. You said Hagerstown. If a married man strays, he gets hammered by the courts. If a married woman strays, it's because she felt emotionally abused emotionally, so she strayed. The man gets hammered. Are men going to realize that a pretty face doesn't mean a pretty character? Well said. Well said, Connor McDougall. The tail wags the dog. The world caters to us, says Dave Bree. Dave, where are you from? St. T says, they don't need a man. They can suck government cack for resources now, which men pay for. Men are disposable. We are seen as a wallet. But here, I want to go back to the hypergamy, please. People are very angry with hypergamy. Well, be angry all you want. It ain't going away. It's always been here. Always will be. Expect it. Respect it. Respect the fact she's not yours. It's just your turn. Respect the fact that quit putting your emotions and money and resources into something that most likely 98% of the time will leave you. So actually enjoy understanding that. If you understand that things are rigged against you, you're not going to live in a fantasy of trying to unrig the things that are rigged against you. They don't need a man. They can suck government cack. Well said. I have a long way to go still, but all my time alone is giving me the truth. No one wins the relationship Olympics. Well said, Wes. And Wes is out traveling the world. Check out Wes's channel as well. Someone post a link to his channel, please. Jawara is in the house writing 100 books. I am early. I had to get this out because I read this article laying in bed this morning. I don't need no man. I don't need no man. You don't pay $900 for my weave. I've noticed if you're with the girl who's difficult and you smash them, it's the same as dating a prawn. Be careful out there. A cousin deleted himself. He believed in a romantic fantasy, just like I once did with 3 kids. He and wife decided he would be a house husband. Then she filed for divorce and met a new man. Swick 555. How many times has that happened in this world? Condolences to your cousin. Even brother Malcolm X would be disappointed by the world. Sure. Ghost says most women are short-term rentals. No legal names, no primary residences. Hypergamy has been genetically hardwired into the debaucherous DNA. And hypergamy, and well said, well said. There's nothing you can do to change it. All these guys think they can change it by being a better person, by getting more fame, status, money, six-pack abs, loving, liking. You can't be an alpha and a beta and a sigma all in one. Hypergamy floats. Paul Proteus, rest in peace. Hypergamy is your best friend. Think about it. Look at it like that. Hypergamy is your best friend. It is a superpower once you understand it, because no longer are you going to place emphasis, resources, emotions, mental aptitudes into a person, a woman that most likely will leave you high and dry for the next guy. So then you realize, shit, if I can't do that, if I can't give what a woman wants and her to stick around, then I've lost everything. I bet on penny stocks that went under. So then you say, well, if I can't do that, I'm going to put all that emphasis, money, and resources into me because I know I can make myself happy. SCE says all women everywhere. New York Times front page article, college educated mother and daughter living in mom's car, lost the apartment, women cannot handle money. Timmy Kramer. Most ladies are not good with money. I would say 99.9%. Even Tony Robbins can't fix it. Yeah, and Tony Robbins did a whole program on his wife, and she eventually left him, or he left her. What are the people like in Utah? Nice. I like the video out. Not much people, lots of awesome stuff to do. People are nice, especially Sunday. Sundays, everyone's in church, so it's very calm and peaceful. But a lot of phonies out here, a lot of fake people, a lot of hive mind. St. T says Tom Brady couldn't even keep his wife. What chance does an average man? There you go. You don't have to ask anybody in this channel. Just look around the world and see men that cannot keep their women. Well said, Christian Henny. All women want more. They sure do, Ghost. You understand that you are the prize, and that removes their power. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Thank you, SEE. Took the words out of my mouth. They piss away the money. The issue is we are the prize. Hypergamy says, when you don't understand hypergamy says we are the prize. They are not. Hypergamy says she is just your turn. She's not yours forever. When you realize you're the prize, you can have a great life. And it's really difficult because the programming within us in the last 90 to 100 years says we need to be with a woman. A woman is our better half. No, happy wife, happy life, blah, blah, blah. No. Connor says hypergamy has been around since Noah's Ark. Women will always want more. Truth. No wife, happy life. You live free without a nagging, complaining 304. Listen, female nature is female nature. They nag more. They're more emotional than male nature. It's really that simple. We are much different. They're better at nurturing kids than we are. They're better at being mothers than we are because we're not mothers. Well, I guess some men are mothers, apparently. Nowadays, it's a great sexual modern day swindle. Is this a protocol of the Zion Sheen? Potentially. Women are never happy when they have everything. Ain't that the truth, Mega? Rad helped me informed about the hypocrisy of my ex. Never believe what a woman says in less than half of what they do. Remember that. That's where we're at. So it's unfortunate what happened this morning or yesterday in Maryland. It really, truly is. We kind of predicted that eventually would happen based on the bias in the courts towards men. And it's really unfortunate on both sides that they cannot come and give men 50-50 custody, 50-50 division of assets, no alimony. She got to pay her bills. Women are the consumers. Men are the producers. We are the prize. We always have been. A 43-year-old is acting like a 16-year-old. Wow, it sounds like my ex. Females hate that they desire strong, dominant men. If you go, well said, T-Docs, if you go on a dating app, and a lot of these, most of them are liberal, they'll say they want strong, masculine men. I can't find no strong, masculine men. They want liberal men. Liberal men are not masculine. Liberal men have a feminine brain because they play the victim, because they blame and deflect. There's a saint who was transported in a vision to the Garden of Eden. She saw that Eve was attracted to more and was easily distracted and curious. Well said, Wolf. And read read about Lilith, Adam's apparently supposed first wife, who did not submit to him or his authority or respect him. MGTOW is overturning per false law, and they hate us for telling the truth. Well said, SCE. It's unfortunate because it was only one thief, and the laws will only get worse for men until the collapse. It is unfortunate, Ghost. I have to admit that it was very nice waking up this morning with no alarm clock, no nagging, made some breakfast, and quietly enjoying the live stream. No drama is very nice. Good for you, Swick. It's Friday. My sister in the medical field making twice my income, but broke somehow. You know how? Give a woman 200 grand, she'll spend 250 grand. Dated a gal that made 150 grand and she was in debt. She's like, I'm embarrassed to say this, but I'm extremely in debt. And she told me her expenses. I'm like, how in the hell are you in debt? Well, she bought $30 bottles of wine, wardrobes, went on crazy trips, always went to brunches that cost $150. No wonder you're in debt. Men have to be high value with six figures income to get a ran through woman with a body count of 4,000. Europe is laying it down to Chinatown with that one. You could be right about Mr. Tate. I don't really follow the guy. Again, there's part of his message that's important, but the messenger, I can't really relate to the guy. It's awesome to have my own joint and not live with a chick. Peace, quiet, and freedom for 300 Trebek. They want a beta male for marriage and a Chad like me for bed. They want an alpha and a beta in the same person. Can't have it. Based fact, Jordan Peterson's daughter said they made business. What's my thoughts on Peterson? He said some good things. He cries, though. They are best of chaos, consumption, and destruction. MGTOW is peace and quiet, no effing nagging, and shit talking all the time. Pump and dump still validates them. Well said, Chaos. It sure does. Sure does. Gives them attention. It's very little lasting attention, but it still validates them. Mouth of Gabe. We see Mouth of Gabe has just joined. Now the party started. Good to see you, brother. I'm laughing at that. I'm not going to say it. Just buy her a new pair of knee pads for Christmas. He can be a simp like Logan Paul. I don't understand that dude either. I mean, the guy needs external validation from her. I wouldn't doubt if that guy self-deletes eventually. When men divorce their wives, I wonder what percentage of it is due to the wife running up massive debt and refuses to. I would say it's not as high. Men will deal with all sorts of that kind of debt. I don't think that's probably 10%. Women do. You're absolutely right, Joar. They spend 90%. Just go, and if people don't believe that, go to a department store. Look at all of the products geared towards women. 90% of a department store like Kohl's or Mervyn's, Target, it's all geared towards the ladies. It is not a good strategy as CE. Sam Fisher's in the house. Good to see you, Sam. How you been? Ghost, you're absolutely right. She does seem like a massive 304. Didn't she delete her husband? So she's going against everything her dad preaches. Give him a Johnny Rotten look and sometimes bark at them. Johnny Rotten for 300 Trebek. Well said. Who we got? Monk Mode Mining 84 is in the house. Good to see you. Let's see. Danilo Diaz, nice to see you, Rad. Cheers from Brazil. Good work, brother. Obrigado for being here, my friend. Obrigado. All the way from we got India, we got Singletown out in Europe. I want to say Sweden, but I don't think it is. Finland, Sweden, Norway, one of those. We got Brazil. Who else we got? Europe. I know Europe. I think Europe's over there in I want to say, gosh, where the hell is Europe from? It's across the pond. I want to say UK, but I don't think I'm right. We got everybody else, all of the OGs. You guys are all OGs. A bikini yoga pants and fake lips. She is now for sale on Instagram. No truer words were spoken than those by Timmy. Husband can stop wives from spending. Well, then it's called financial abuse. Do you know that's something now? Sacred Smoke is in the house. Good to see Sacred Smoke. Salute to you, brother. Who we got here? I don't even know how to say that. D9ard, the 2024 cryptocurrency bull run is approaching. Okay. Deutschland. Oh, Denmark. See, did I say one of them? Did I say Denmark? No, I didn't. Maybe I did. Good to have you, brother. Always a pleasure. So check out Singletown's channel. Peruvian women are traditional, I heard. My landlords are for Peru. Peru makes some really good food. I ate a lot of Peruvian food when I was in Venezuela because there's a lot of Peruvians there. Advantages from being alone: health up, money up, peace up, freedom, enjoy the silence. Attaboy, Europe. And that's what we're talking about. Truth is spoken in this chat. Sam says, been busy and working hard to make it. Good for you. But again, it's really unfortunate what has happened today in Maryland. He will either delete himself or he will be in bars and his kids will lose. Both kids on the judges' kids lose. and the defendant or the respondent, kids lose too. And in the end, those kids will be forever scarred for the rest of their lives. Based on what? The disposability of men. Ghost says Peruvian chicks are nuts. A lot of them look like refrigerators too. Just like Hammerhand. B-Rad got great wrenches. Mad respect. Thank you, Sacred. We do have some great wrenches in here. Can't wait to try the Peruvian fare plantain. I love plantains. Fried plantains with white cheese. They call it queso blanco or queso a mano, which is similar to feta or cotija. Put feta cheese on a fried plantain. Got to make sure that plantain's ripe, though. $100 billion financial package being prepared for, yep. That's where the money's going. Line in the pockets. They are all nuts, but Peruvians will cut you. Interesting. Divorce Court documentary is an eye-opener. I encourage you all the men to view it. It is free on YouTube. Yes, I remember seeing that. Great show. Yeah, it lays it down in Chinatown. Just put up a dick pic with a smile for a profile on dating sites. Who cares at this point with these floods? I knew a guy that was on the dating sites in the apartments when I first moved out. All he did, if he got a response from a woman, he's like, I want to F you tonight. And he said 30% of women responded to that. He didn't say anything else like, hi, how you doing? You look great. Oh my gosh, you're amazing. We're close. We live 5 minutes away. He'd say, I want to nail you tonight. And 30% would respond. So there you go. All income made in marriage is considered community. Yes, it is. Why even make his own money? It's considered monetary abuse because of the Duluth model as we are using our male privilege. Yeah, it's community. Well said. It's a lot. It's not our country, Joara. Just shut your mouth and hand over your shekels. Peruvian girl I hooked up with was a freak in the sheets, but she had a big head. There's a lot of freaky chicks. They're nuts, though. Right? Plantains are well known here in Puerto Rico, town in Chicago. The jibarito sandwich was made big here. Ooh, I love plantains, white cheese, roast beef, rice, beans with an arepa. They call that pabellon, or arepa de pabellon. The main problem is 99% of men believe in the unicorn story. Well said. And that's how they are, Char. I'm going to cut this short because I got some work to do. But I wanted to bring this to the attention of our wonderful chat and those eyeballs that are listening but not responding, and those that will see this video down the road. It is unfortunate what has happened today. What's another topic of today? Hypergamy is a superpower once you understand it. External validation is not needed. Only internal validation. That is it. There are no unicorns, says Europe. If you bring no value to them, they don't want you. It's not about love. It's about us. It's about using men. Once men understand that listen, quit giving the emotions and mental stability into relationships. 98% of women are not recommended. Even if you find that mythical unicorn, look around for the unicorn droppings. Well said. Sam Fisher says, know why the wrenches are all awesome? Because they're all men. There are women that come to this channel, and I've mentioned them. There's Victoria, there was Marcella, Suzanne Fleming, Lisa Smith. Lisa Smith has 2 boys that she's trying to educate away from these 304s. There's women that have come. There's a gal in Mexico who has little boys, trying to help her boys understand how bad the dynamics of modern day relationships will be for her boys. So shout out. Well said, Dave. Remember, a unicorn has a horn between her eyes that will pierce your heart. You're Polish too, just like Polska. Got to hang out with Polska. He's out delivering flowers somewhere in Chicago. Anyhow, this has been great. You guys have a great day. Rebel against defeat, chase excellence, masculinity, and men first. Peace.